Now we're going to make a simple card here using the Union Jack bunting set. I've taken one of the medium large and I've done it both sides there, and I printed out one of the background papers, have that there ready to stick down, and I've also trimmed one so it looks like a bunting itself that'll go on the top. But first of all, let's show you what I'm doing. There's my card. It's just an A4 piece of card folded in half, very simple. Now on here I've cut a piece of background paper. You can mat it and layer it if you want to, but I'm just going to stick that there. You've got various options, so I'm going to pop that there. You can put it at the top if you want, depends, but I'm going to have the bunting like a hinge going over the top. So that's going there like so. I'm just sticking that down. And that's lined up there like so. Then I've got one across the top here I'm going to do. Now I've cut that strip from the same background paper, and I'm just going to do a little bead of glue there. And then that can stick down. I can layer that up. So it leaves a little bit of a red border at the top. Stick that down, and it looks like you've got a string of bunting at the top of your card, and I'm just trimming that off. We can go there. So then there's the front of the card, what we're going to use. You could use this same background as an insert as well. Now I've made, if you watch how we do the buntings, all I've done here, I've stuck two together, used the mirror, and I left the top so it flipped over like that. Now you can do various things here. The idea for this one was it's just going to stick on the inside like that, and then you can lift the bunting up and you can put a message underneath if you want. Or if you don't want to stick it down, people then could take this off. You could have a bit of ribbon or something, people could use it. So it's entirely up to you, but I designed it for this particular card to stick on the inside. I'm throwing it around the studio now. So I've made that little flap. When I cut it out, I cut the edges off, but then I left the big flap at the bottom and then just angled it so when it folds over, it meets perfectly here. So that's going to stick on here. Let me find the front of the card. That's going to go in there, like that. Let me make sure it's in the right position. That looks good for me. Turn it over again, and then just using a little bit of glue, stick that on the inside. And at this point you could then put a insert there which will cover the top here. So that's just going to be a little hinge at the top, like so. That'll fold over. Then you've got your card like that, and it could be an invitation or whatever you want, and then this can lift up, or when it stands up it kind of flutters in the wind. And if you're in our house, there's lots of that about. Anyway, that could flutter in the wind. And again, it's just using Union Jack bunting in a different way, just to do something a bit different. But I hope that inspires you to do other things.